Alright guys, I was recently tagged in a community video by Mr. Paul Poo. Thank you very much, Paul. And this little project originated from Jcc2224. What is your favourite toy line? Now for me, that's an impossible question, but I had an idea. What most of you probably don't know is where my name comes from. Action Jack Man. Well, back in 2005, I created a website called the Action Jack Archive. It was a free Yahoo GeoCities website, inspired a little bit by the Mego Museum, and it was a voyage of discovery about Action Jack. Action Jack are really cheap, nasty rip-off toys of the Matchbox Mobile Action Command. And at the time, there was absolutely no information about them anywhere. So I made it my mission to discover what was out there. And a lot of it was done old school style by buying a figure, checking out the ones on the back, and then every now and then a new figure would show up. So I'd get that one and it'd unlock 3 or 4 more figures. And I put all these pictures in my website, the Action Jack Archive. Now what happened to that website is also quite interesting. Yahoo decided to close down the GeoCities websites. So as far as I was concerned, the site no longer existed. And this was around 2007. But in very late 2011, I was looking on eBay and I found an auction for some Action Jack figures. So I had a little look at it, and the guy on eBay was referencing this fantastic resource for Action Jack figures. And the address he used was for my website. So I thought, that's funny. It's closed down. Turns out some third party has actually reactivated all these websites, and my site wasn't lost forever like I thought it was. So it's thanks to him that I actually still have access to my old website. In the meantime, some more Action Jack figures had been discovered, so I thought, wouldn't it be cool to get back on the site and update it? Unfortunately, it involved learning internet web language, which I couldn't be bothered to do. So I decided instead I'd set up a YouTube channel, which is the channel you're watching now. So although this isn't my favourite toy line, as you will see, these figures are junk, but this is the most exciting time of discovery I ever had collecting toys. So here we have the first page of the Action Jack Archive, and this is a collection of scans that I did from the back of the boxes. And you can see on there, updated 2007, so this site hasn't been touched for 7 years. I should also point out, this is back in the day that we didn't have high-res monitors, which is why it looks so small now. So this is the main introduction, and we can see there we've got a little listing, and it features all the little figures that I managed to track down, and each one of these is clickable, so we'll have a look at this guy. This is the Space Explorer, and you can see there we had nice themed pages with little photos of all the accessories, the cards, what you should look for, and what's on the back. So these 4 twin packs are one of the first sets that I found on eBay. You might notice that little picture in the corner of the box, that would be my channel avatar. And these are pretty much 2 figures combined together from the single team sets, which are these guys. There's one for Mad Wobber, so that's the firefighter. And you can see he comes with a little fire helmet. These figures were awful. The helmets didn't fit, the backpacks would snap when you tried to put them on. But they came with loads of cool accessories, and I loved getting these as a kid. So then we have the Western sets. This is the Red Indian. I remember getting this one back in the day. And this one was interesting because it's the only time they used an alternate sculpt for the figure. And he had tons of accessories, arrows and spears and hats and shields and bits to stick on him. And then I also managed to find these deluxe sets. So this one is the Doctor's set. And in these ones you got 4 figures, and it had these little bits of hospital. And I remember getting these in Playmobil sets, so these are knockoff Playmobil pieces. And a lot of the accessories are pretty much what you got with the Doctor set. But these were really cool to find. I found these on some auction site in Singapore. This one is one of the Action Jack Holy Grails. This is the Space Explorer 4-pack. And it came with 4 spacemen and a rocket. And then I also managed to find these sets on eBay. These are the Action Jack vehicles. And these are even cheaper and nastier than the figures. They have little wind-up mechanisms in. That's actually a store display box, but you could get them boxed individually as well. And then we have the military Action Jack sets that came a little bit later. And these were pretty much redos of the older sets, only they tended to feature green and black figures. And when I first set up this site, I was desperate to know who was the black Action Jack. I think we even had a page on it. And eventually it turned up in this line. There was a couple of different black ones. And then I also found these ones on here. This is the Action Jack Soldiers made by Serena. Now I saw a full lot of these go up on eBay, and unfortunately I got outbid. These went for well over £100. So unfortunately I never got to put images in there. They were pretty much redos of the military Action Jack. And then we have what I believe is the final series. So these were more space themed ones. Again, reuses of a lot of the old parts. I believe these came out in the 90s. And again, these are a little bit harder to find. I think this is the only one I have actually, the military police one. But they had a cool little box redesign. And to spice the site up a little bit, I also did these. These are the custom jacks. And at the time I was getting into superheroes, so I decided to make all my own custom Action Jack superheroes. So these are the first couple of waves you see, and I made the boxes and everything. These were really badly done. I didn't use the right paints, and the capes were paper. I actually nicked the design from a Lego cape to do that. But this was a fun little project to keep the site going when I couldn't find any new ones. So here's an interesting one for you. This is one with the price tag on it still. So these cost 28 pence. Bearing in mind this is at a time when Star Wars figures had gone up from £1.50 to £2. So 28 pence was nothing really. But you got so many cool accessories with these figures. I think that's why I loved them. So I'll leave a link to this website in the description if you are interested in Action Jack and want to have a little further look. But I just thought it'd be interesting for a lot of my newer subscribers to actually know where my name came from, what the whole Action Jack thing's about. So there you go, Mr. Paul Pooh. My favourite toy line, kind of. So part of this community challenge is I have to now tag 3 more people. So the idea is, what's your favourite toy line? If it's say Star Wars, it's something more specific like vintage or legacy collection or whatever. So I'm going to pick 3 people who I know collect a variety of things, and we should get some interesting content back. I'm also not going to pick anyone who I know isn't active at the minute, because I don't think that'd be fair to drag them out of retirement. So first up, my good buddy from Canada, Mr. Joe Nerd 11. Now with a name like Joe Nerd, you're going to gather G.I. Joes. But I know he's got wider tastes than that. So, if you want to surprise us, mate, please go ahead. For my next pick, one of the nicest guys on YouTube. He has a stunning collection of Japanese Transformers, but I know he likes a lot of other things too. And he's also a regular on the Transformers Cybercast. James, Mr. Victory Saber 77. And finally, another guy with very diverse tastes. From the Toy Room of Insanity, Count Stankus. I'll also put links to these guys' channels in this video, so if you're not a subscriber, you can sort that out and go and check out their videos too. So, this has been Luke. Thank you for watching.